Hey Battlefield YouTube community, today I'm going to review a weapon that I've kind of waited on. It's Dragon's Teeth Desert Eagle. This thing, I waited so long just because I thought it was going to be nerfed in some way. They're going to announce it by now, what they're going to do with it. I think they still might, because this thing is just an absolute beast of a pistol. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous. One of the reasons is that damage. 56 at close range, and at minimum, it'll do at 37.5. That is kind of freaking high. It matches only by the 44 mag revolver, which is also very strong, but it doesn't have the capacity of this, and it doesn't have the shooting this thing has. This thing is just incredible what you can actually do with it. And if you really want to compare, the Desert Eagle has a fire rate of 220 rounds per minute, and the 44 mag has 150. That's a giant advantage. And then you got the fact that the capacity quite easily better on the Desert Eagle. You have a max of 9 rounds versus 6 of the other revolvers that can put out the damage this thing can. And that is just downright, it's kind of stupid. It's to the point where unless you really maybe need the accuracy at range, there's no real point of going any other pistol out there, because this thing pretty much trumps all. And then you need to add to that, versus the other revolvers, this thing has a faster reload. If you have at least one left, there's a 2.7 seconds, and the long reload is at 3.2 seconds, which is not fast compared to some of the other pistols that aren't revolvers. But at the same time, it's definitely better than all the other heavy-hitting weapons out there. And I understand why it would be faster to reload in real life. Man, there's not too many downsides to using this weapon. Now, the one downside to this weapon you're going to find is the recoil. It's not typically as good as the other ones. It's a little bit worse, but then again, it is a pistol. You're typically going to use this very close ranges. But anyway, the vertical is 2.0, and the horizontal left and right is 0.3, and you got a first shot multiplier of 1. That's not terrible, but it's definitely worse than pretty much everything else in the pistol category. And while that's a little bit worse than everything else in the pistol category, it's not that bad, because again, you're at close range, because you are using a pistol typically, unless you're trying to snipe people, which then I would have to go with a revolver. But since it does so much damage and it is highly spammable, you could definitely beat out most other pistols, unless your aim is terrible. Because let's face it, at close range it's a 2-shot kill, and at max range it's only a 3-shot kill. And you have up to 9 rounds there, and you're probably going to take them down. The only thing is if they get a lucky headshot, but then again, guess what? If you get a lucky headshot, it's a 1-shot kill or a 2-shot kill. It's quite easy to wreck people with this. Now, as far as typical loadout will go, use your sight of your choice, people. Red dot for most people. Ghost ring is definitely an excellent choice on many of the pistols. Right here I am using the red dot, trying to get a little bit of accuracy at range with this thing. But, you know, it's up to personal preference with this. Now, as far as accessories go, whichever laser you like. I like green, but at first, you won't have that. But at the same time, it doesn't really matter that much which one you use. I know there's slight variances in it, but I've found them not to matter a hell of a lot. But you're really going to want to stick to that laser, because it does definitely improve the hipfire, which this gun is very good at, and I'll touch on that here in a minute. And then lastly, barrel. You know what? Compensator, because it looks badass on this weapon. It helps extend that barrel, and it looks just amazing on it. There, when you're reloading, you can kind of get a little bit of a peek of it. And it helps you decide to decide which this gun has a little bit higher than normal. And it's definitely my favorite to use, and just goes so well with that giant pistol feel. And after a while, I've noticed something about this weapon. Its hipfire is great. It doesn't have any better hipfire than most of the other pistols, which is definitely decent. But at the same time, you are typically going to be very close, and it does all that freaking damage. And it's, like I said, highly spammable. So you could definitely wreck people at close range and never even bother to pull up. I'm using this constantly now, just because of how freaking good it is at hip firing at close range. There's almost no point, unless you're trying to get those accurate headshots. Typically you don't even need to, but you know what? I love my hip fire. I love using it that way. It's definitely gonna pay out, if you're already ready to look down sights. But when you come around a corner and the other guy's there, shit, hip fire him. Now, for the few of you that don't have this unlocked yet, it's really easy to get. Obviously, you have to have Dragon's Teeth and have played the maps before. And you have to be obviously rank 10 like all the other DLC weapons. And the other key is you have to unlock the Unica 6 first. I have a review on that. It'll be posted down below, and probably at the end of this video on that one. And other than that, it's 20 headshots with the Unica 6. That's the reason why we're playing these pistols only match with me and my buddies here, because they needed to unlock it. You know what? And you wreck people in pistols only, because this thing is, like I said, it's a little bit overpowered. It's not as great as some people make it out to be, but it's just so damn good. There's very few downsides to it, like I was saying. In the 3 pistols only rounds, I had an average of a 5 KD, which is kind of ridiculous. You know, I'm a better than average player, probably. I know, modest much, but I'm a 5 KD player. But with this thing, it was pretty easy. It's not even a challenge. I actually ran around with defib tool for a while, just zapping people when I ran out of ammo. And even then, I ran around zapping people when I did have ammo, because it was so easy to outplay most people with this weapon, just because it is a little overpowered. And I would have to assume, I know that somebody, I've heard rumors saying, oh, they're definitely going to patch this. I haven't actually read anything official yet. If anybody has seen that, feel free to post that in the comments. But this gun probably does need a tweak or two. It's just a little too good. Maybe the fire rate, maybe something else needs to be done, but it's just so damn good. If you enjoyed my video or found it informative, I would appreciate it if you just destroyed that like button, and also please subscribe if you haven't done so already. And right here I got the Unica 6 review, a weapon you have to use to get this Desert Eagle, and I got the MPX review, another decent PDW, and the PDW class definitely needs some decent weapons. Thanks guys for all your support.